Hi guys, so this is a one-on-one with Chris Raine, a Brit in the Philippines. I had a chance to interview Chris, so I uh, have to say that Chris was he hesitate to come for interview because of probably from the comment of from the people and also probably from some of my video, but I have assure Chris that I will be respectful and I will be fair. So I would like to also ask my viewer to be do the same thing, be respectful and be fair. If you have some reservation about Chris or you have something you might think differently. If you want to, I would suggest don't watch the video, just skip the video right now. But if you are willing to listen to to our conversation, just be respectful. If you just gonna come in and say something like a scammer, I will automatic delete the comment. And because I've been trying to do this a while now, and and it's not easy to get other blogger to come if people just gonna trust them. So I be respectful not only to my guests, also to me. And so I'm hoping that I can bring you more interview. When I go to with this type of interview, I go in with a clear mind, and try to be respectful, try to ask the question that most of the viewer would like to ask the guests. So on that note, I have to. This is just a quick recap of our conversation. So basically, Chris was from UK, and at that time when he was 54 years old, he was kind of feeling burnout, and also have a couple of setback from personal situation. And then if it start to feel like I'm probably like most of us, sometime at one point we feel like feeling lonely, and then also like something like telling you that he just need a new direction in life. So he start to look other situation, start to look at other blogger, and then come to I think a blogger was in Thailand was talking about living on 600 a week, and that was like pick his interest. Say, oh wow, it's like that's a good that's seems like a good idea to exploit that situation. So that's what he did. He owned like a three real estate, and then he's decided that he would consolidate to one, and I think have some still have some mortgage on that one, and he was renting it out. So I believe he was drawing some positive income on that property. That's what he was living on, and then he figured out if he go to Asia, he could be a blogger, and then he could also generate an income as a blogger. So the finance is kind of tight for Chris, but he tried to make it work. So we have to understand the background. So we try to be more understanding. He doesn't have he's not drawing on a pension yet because he's too young to be on pension. Just like some of other expat living in Asia. And then we also touched based on how he ended up in Naga. At the same time, I also asked about the about he also was doing some type of try to help people. And then the one of the latest one was four houses got burned down in Naga, and the police contacted him to see if he can somehow help the family. The family did get some assistance from the local government, I think if I'm not quite sure, it's about they gave the family like a 15,000 help, but 15,000 doesn't go that far to be building a house. For even there as just when I say house, this is almost like a hut. It's small, but still, and we all know that material are so expensive right now. So I'm gonna put that video in the down below so you can watch that that video, and it's up to you if you want help, or if you don't want. That's up to you. And then what else? We also touch base about I asked about about e-beggar on YouTube, and I just want to before I play the video, I want to point out that my terms of e-beggar or scammer is probably different than most of us here. I don't, even though I was very critical of Tintin and also Ice Cream Man, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm maybe I have a more understanding. I know some of the viewer would disagree with me on this one, but at the same time, for me, super chat, Patreon, or super sticker, this is legal. It's part of the YouTube. But the only thing that I'm critical of Ice Cream Man, because it seems like for me it was abusing the system, and I have shared this with Chris, and then so what else? Yeah, so it's very interesting. I think for me, Chris was very straightforward, transparent in in sharing what he thought, and you also have a great advice on foreigner how to find your Filipina. I think this is going to be very helpful to my viewer. So again, I ask for your be respectful. You can have like constructive comment. I will take that, but let's just avoid like word like a scammer, something like that. I on this channel I don't use that word as even addressing Tintin or Ice Cream Man. I try to avoid that. So and then just enjoy the video, and then let me know your thought on this interview. Thank you again for watching. I'm gonna play the video now.
I'm a bit I've been a bit apprehensive because every time I've got involved with other channels,
Right?
it's not ended very well because of the trolls, and you know how it is.
You mean with the channel or with the troll?
Well, both, because a lot of these channels don't control the comments.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I have a zero tolerance of
Okay, so here's the thing, Chris. I kind of I don't know if you noticed though. I kind of it all depends on when they comment. When they come in and they said that person is a scammer, I delete that right away. I don't take that kind of things. They have to explain. They have to explain why is it. They have to explain, and then if I read it makes sense, then I leave it there. I
well, I mean,
even to me, if they come like they strong with me, they were saying about me. If you notice, there's a negative about me, I leave it on. I kind of like open minded, like try to have a kind of free speech, but not like no hate. I like I told you, if they come in like they were saying something right away, that's a troll.
if
I
it's constructive, then
constructive
I will
it
leave it on.
that's it. Constructive, I'm okay,
But
but
on the whole, Jimbo, they're never constructive. They
yeah,
come on and they just make accusations. They can never back these accusations up. Have you noticed?
yeah, I hear you, I
It's
hear you.
always, well, I heard, and I was on his channel the other day, this guy, and he said,
Oh,
it's, well, yeah, I mean, in 7 years I've been in the Philippines,
mm-hmm,
I've had three people send me emails. I think
mm-hmm,
they're different people, different emails, and they said, "Well, we've passed all the evidence on and paperwork to the Naga police and the relevant officials, and it's been nice knowing you. You'll be leaving the Philippines soon." I'm still here. You know what I mean? So this is what they do. They come. It's like me, right? I'll give you an example.
Right.
Uh, Jimbo, I'm sorry, mate, but I think you're a scammer. You're a beggar. Um, that's just how it is. That's my opinion. I've been watching your channel.
Mm-hmm.
You and this is just
No, no,
I'm not
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I've watched your channel. You're calling other people or you're letting comments come on. And actually, I realise through Social Blade, you've monetized your channel. Yet you're calling these guys e-beggars. I mean, if you're not interested in money, why have you monetized your channel?
Mm,
I've not been on, but watched a number of these channels that, and again, I'm not related to you because I don't really know your channel.
mm,
Because I'm getting a message saying, Chris, go on this guy's channel, which I hate to do because it annoys me. But you
mm,
go and you listen to some of the lives or you watch some of the videos, and it's like they're just spewing rubbish. They've got nothing to back it up. It's basically
mm,
they don't like you. They know nothing about your life. They know nothing about your finances.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing about your finances. I mean, one guy sent me, tried to put a message on my channel, but as you know, you can stop that.
Mm,
And he says, don't listen to this e-beggar scammer. He's earning $4,000 a month. My camera's broke. I can't even afford a new camera. You know.
mm-hmm.
Now, was it the last? No, it wasn't the last video. The videos before the last two. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, look, I might disappear for a while, guys, because my camera's hit and miss. I'd go out, I'd come back, the card would be corrupt, or the audio would be corrupt. There was video there, but audio corrupt. And then I realized it's the camera that's corrupting the video card.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually gone through two brand new video cards, and it just keeps corrupting them. So, I'm in a position now.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me ask you. Let me jump on this. When you're doing that, are you is your intention to have somebody send you money or send you a camera? Is that what's the
No,
intention?
not at all. Not at all.
Or
Look,
you were
I
just
mean,
talking?
if I'm going to disappear but that's the assumption. You see, you
Mm-hmm.
can't say anything without people say, "Oh, he's hinting for money. He's doing this." It's like, well, look, this is my life. This is what's happening. If I disappear for a month, 2 months because I'm saving for a camera,
Mm.
and people aren't seeing videos, they're going to say, "Well, why am I supporting him every month and he's not making any videos?"
Okay. Okay. Hear
I
you.
mean, you can't win. You can't seem to win.
Yeah. I hear.
So
I
if
hear.
I don't know if you saw a video, my sister-in-law come round and she brought a paper and she shoved it under my nose and she said, Chris, this has got to be paid. It was something like 104,000 pesos land rent, not rent for the house, because the owner of the land doesn't own the house. Unless he kicks you out, then obviously he owns the house. And I'm looking at it, it's from 2011. I says, well, why is this my problem?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, long story short, I'm discussing it with people. I said, look, I've just been hit with this, blah, blah, blah. Two people offered to help. I said, no. I literally said, no, I can manage it. I'm going to make an agreement with the landlord. I sold my motorcycle to pay him a lump sum
Yeah.
of this money. But do you know how bad I got attacked for that? Oh, you're begging. Why should people help you pay
Yeah.
that? It's not even your responsibility, you say.
All right, so you can share this. What I'm trying to say is, once we done when I post it, I would just suggest that I don't know. I'm not saying that you should not come and check the comment, but what I'm trying to say, you kind of hold back. Don't engage. And let me sort through it. because otherwise, it might get, like I told you, I did with John Smulo, and then I had a couple of people came over, like was saying that something bad about, and I just, I have to make a like a warning. I had to make a comment. I said, all right, so be respectful when you come in. Be respectful, and that's what I think I would do on your when I before, on this video. I would put like I would say something first, like this conversation, collaboration. I have question I want to ask you also about because I know you are trying to do trying to get help for the poor people, right? And then I will ask you question. Don't you need the license? But don't answer now. I'm just giving you a heads up. That one I'm gonna ask you, and then you can tell me, and then we're gonna start with the conversation. I might follow up a little bit, but I'm not. I'm going to be respectful to you, as my guest. I'm like I always said, I'm respectful to my guests. I'm not gonna like try to make it a scene like what those TV shows something like that, because otherwise nobody's gonna come to have a interview with me. I mean, you seen my interview with other people, so. And then I also try to get same thing with other people. I'll mention to you Sunshine Shoulder. Sunshine, do you aware of Sunshine Shoulder? He was also like people were saying something about him, and like when they look, I didn't see nothing. And I said, okay, can you come and maybe we can do the same thing I just asked you.
I
I didn't.
don't follow the channels.
No. I'm just saying to
Sorry,
you, I didn't see nothing. I mean, I see something like maybe. Would you say as an e-bigger, like what you're just telling me earlier, like something like that, mentioning about certain things, or something. Oh, thank you, guys, for your support, or something like that. And then everybody were already jumping. Is you are e-bigger, blah 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 blah. When I
Yeah,
tell
that's what we're
people,
gonna do with this one.
all right, okay, so if you see something like you think it's critical, you point to me, give me the video, give me the timestamp, and nobody could do that. Nobody could do that with this Sunshine Shoulder. So
You see, they assume, Jimbo, when you're sorry to cut you off, they're assuming if you try and help somebody, like we have do odd times, it's mainly just Christmas, but when the police got in touch with me, the Naga police, to help them in different situations like the ones you've seen, and this one where the home's burnt down.
mhm.
I've got no problem there because I'm helping the police. They've asked for my help.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you about that the home. I seen that video. I'm gonna ask you that, but can we start now? We're gonna go in the beginning. Is it okay to you? I ask you about your how did you come to the Philippines? Or how did you get started? Something like that. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget the home burning, and we can touch that. All right, so I'm gonna get started now. Okay, so all right, folks. Here I am with Raine from Brit in the Philippines, right? The channel.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, Chris. Thank you for allowing me with this interview collaboration with you. I know you have been on YouTube for like what 7 years, and sometimes can be controversial. So that's why that's why I try to talk to you. Can you like maybe just tell my viewer how the I mean I think I believe you're from England, right? You're from England.
Yeah.
So can you just give us a little bit rundown on your background? How did you come to the Philippines?
Well, uh, to anybody watching this that watches my channel, I apologise for repeating myself. But basically, I got burnt out. I've worked ever since I was 16. I've never drawn social security. I've always been in work. I've never been out of work. And I've been married a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
which has ruined me. The first one practically ruined me financially. Second one, not so much. Then my mum passed away. My
Sorry, Chris, can you come a little bit closer to your microphone? Like, cause kind of, I could hardly hear you. You know, if I cannot hear you, I think my probably my viewer cannot also hear you very well. So yeah, appreciate it. Just
Is that better?
that's better.
Yeah. My mum passed away. My sister got breast cancer. I got assaulted at work, and then my second wife left me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty down. I was going to see the doctor. At that point, I went on the sick. First time I've ever done that. I went on the sick, and I was just burnt out, and I didn't think I could carry on in my job, even though my job was pretty easy. And I sort of got up one morning and I went on the internet and I saw this video, and this guy in Thailand says, "Come to Thailand. You can come here for $600 a month. You can live here for $600." I'm like, wow. At that point, I had three properties up to here with mortgage, but I had three properties. I thought, well, if I consolidate just to one property and rent that out, well, I get that much a month. And then I thought, God, he's blogging. He's making money blogging. And I thought, well,
Mm-hmm.
if I sell my property and I can make a little bit of extra income blogging, I could probably live in Thailand. Well, long story short, when I investigated living in Thailand and did
Mm-hmm.
some homework, I thought, absolutely no way can you live in Thailand. And I didn't like the fact you had to reapply for your visa every 3 months, which means me going into Cambodia, getting it stamped and coming back into Thailand.
Right.
I
Right.
thought, no, I can't do with that hassle. So the next one was Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I thought Cambodia was attractive was you could get a yearly rolling visa, you could get work permit, you can open a business, you don't have to marry anybody. So I went to Cambodia, and pretty much as soon as I got off the plane, I realized Cambodia wasn't for me. So I went on the internet. The third option was here in the Philippines.
Mm.
So I just jumped on a plane, come to the Philippines, and
Wow.
I'll be honest with you, when I got off the plane in Manila, I wanted to jump back on the plane and go back home to the UK. But I'd rented my house out, give them a lease for 3 years. So if I went back to the UK, I was homeless, you know. So I ended up in Bulacan for about 5.5 months, and I was on a subdivision, and I was having a very bad time with a foreigner and his Filipino wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I met this guy called Edward who owned the house they were renting out. And he said, "Can I help you with the videos?" I said, "Yeah, sure." You know, I says, "I can take you around." Anyway, when things got so bad, Edward turned around to me and he says, "Oh, I can see what's happening here. Why don't you come with me to Naga? My auntie owns two homes. They're both next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll rent you that out for 2,500 pesos a month." I said, "Get out. Really? Where's Naga?" See, I knew nothing about Naga. And I thought, well, it's got to be better than Bulacan, because I'm thinking if this is it, if Bulacan is it, then I'm going home. I can't stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know where else to go. I hadn't done enough homework to, I mean, I thought Leyte maybe, something like that. Anyway, went to Naga. No sooner did I get off the trike, coming from the bus station, I thought, this is it. This is where I want to be. Now that sounds crazy, but I
Mm.
just knew I had a good feeling. And
And then you stay there until now
yeah,
in Naga. And then is that where you met your wife?
yeah, a few months, well, about 4 or 5 months later, I met, no, not that. About 4 months later, I met Mel. And
So you never been back to England again?
no, 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 not
Oh.
unless they take me in handcuffs. Definitely not. I love the Philippines. I love the people. I just love the Philippines. This is my home. I
Oh.
love it. Naga, I know I'm biased, but Naga's just fantastic. I mean, Naga police, the officials, how they've handled the pandemic. You know, if I'd have been in the UK, I'd have been climbing the walls.
Mm.
But here, all right, it's been difficult sometimes, but on the whole, it's been brilliant.
Okay, so you did not really plan to stay though. You were just like you know like trying to see the country, and then all of a sudden you just felt like this is it. This is you want to stay here.
I thought to myself, if I can get just 3 years to get my head together and get, you know, in the right frame of mind, have 3 years of happiness, then I'll quite happily return to the UK
Mm.
and, start again. But the longer I was here, I'm thinking, my God, I just don't think I can do that again. I don't think I can go back to the UK. And then, of course, I had my son with Mal, and I thought, no, I can't do it because I can take my kids back, but I can't take my wife back
Mm.
because it's very, very hard and expensive to get a visa in the UK and get your wife permanent residence and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I think I heard that because I think you have to have an amount of income, right? You have to have a
I
set
have to
amount of.
have at least 23,500 because I've got two kids
No.
to get my wife into the UK. There's no way at 61 I can go back to the UK and walk into a job that I had before. Because
Mm.
I've had people say, why don't you get off your backside, go to the UK and support your kids from the UK and your wife, and then once you get your pension, then you can come back.
Mm.
No,
So you're not in a pension yet. Are you in the pension
no,
already? Not
no.
yet.
I rely on.
How do you support yourself? How do you do that?
I'm struggling, obviously from the rental income from my house,
Uh huh. Oh,
because I rent
for your investment in
in the UK, because I consolidated all my houses into one, eventually paid the mortgage off, so it's my house.
mm,
And then the little bit of income I get from YouTube. I mean,
mm,
I've told these people that keep criticizing, get social played. It tells you, well, it's not totally accurate, as you probably know. It says you've got $105 a month. You probably only got about $80, $85, whatever. And I said, look on social play. If I'm earning, as much as you're saying I'm earning,
mm-hmm.
go on there and it'll tell you, you know.
You
So the pandemic is not help matters, as you've probably seen yourself. It's very difficult to keep building your channel under these circumstances.
mm. So you must be at that time. You must be very, like, should I say, desperate. To take like a leap of faith, as somebody would say. Just I'm just gonna go and see what's out there. Yeah, I'm talking about going to Asia, right?
Jimbo, I've never been out of the UK before myself anywhere,
Oh, why?
anytime, sorry, in my life.
It's the first time. This is your first
Yeah.
time.
And I sold everything apart from one house. My Mercedes, I had a Mercedes Benz. I had a big 650 sports Suzuki motorcycle. I had a Suzuki Swift car as well, brand new, and one massive house and two semi houses. But they're all excellent condition, relatively new houses. And materialistic, I had everything. But I was so miserable and lonely, and I'm thinking, you see, when you're my age, bearing in mind I was 53, 54 when I left the UK,
Mm-hmm.
a single guy, and especially if you've been married before and a future partner realizes you've been married twice, you're more than invisible, you know. And then I come to the Philippines and I'm getting all this attention from younger ladies, and I'm thinking, wow.
Because you're a foreigner. That's the truth.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So
You could be a regular, as we say in state, you could be a regular Joe, in state, and then you come to the Philippines, all of a sudden you're somebody, even
Yeah.
though you might not have that much money, but people still look up to you. They think you're rich.
Yeah. I mean, you get lots more respect.
More respect.
Say, except for maybe the upper levels of the Philippines, you get a lot more respect than somebody else uh, of your age that's from the Philippines.
Yeah,
I
I
believe,
hear you. Yeah,
you
I
know,
hear
you
you. But
go on. Sorry.
no, that's kind of that's why I like to talk to. I really enjoy those interview, like every man has a story, something like that, to understand what motivate people to go to the Philippines and start their life. Because I'm gonna tell you, even though I'm from the Philippines, I'm because I've been living in state for so many years. I live here you know almost all my adult life, and just to think about to that going going back home to retire, I still have not processed that. I still like, do I really want to do that? Because I don't know if I would be like get used to the things in the Philippines. I'm not sure. And it would take a leap.
I think it
It
would.
would
I
take a
think
leap of faith to do that. To say, hey, you know what, I want to go there and live there. It's different when you're younger. When I came here in my 20s, it's different. I say I'm gonna go to state. I'm gonna live there. That will be my new home. It's different because you're younger. When you're younger, you have more. I think you have more fighting spirit, or whatever you call that. More energy. But when you're in the 50 or in the 60, that's a different story. So that.
Yeah, I mean, what I did, Jimbo, was totally insane. What I did, it was because of my frame of mind at the time.
Hmm.
I just knew I needed to take a new direction in life, and like
Absolutely.
I say, even if it was just 3 years, I mean, that was even insane.
Oh.
I mean, all right, you come back, you're back to square one, and then I come here and I just love the fact I don't have to work again. I love the fact that I can either sleep till 12 o'clock
Hmm.
or I don't have to sleep till 12 o'clock. I
You
can
you
stay
control
home.
your schedule.
Exactly.
But congratulations, you made it. You made
Yeah,
it. You made it to the Philippines, and now you
yeah,
have.
I did. I mean, you see, the situation is, though, as well, with the attention us foreigners get from young ladies, is they believe because you're from the West, because you've got there on an aeroplane, you've got lots of money. They won't believe you haven't.
Hmm.
They think that if you're playing it down, it's because you don't want to think you've got a lot of money. In a lot of cases, I'm not saying all cases, but in a lot of cases. And then they'll get involved with a foreigner and realize actually they haven't got a lot of money. And these girls won't get involved with foreigners because and older foreigners because they want to change their life.
Yeah,
They,
absolutely.
they want the standard of living to rise. They don't want to get with a foreigner and the standard of living is much better than what they had before they met the foreigner,
Hmm.
you know? And that's not been the case with me and Mel. I mean, Mel from the start knew I was paying off a mortgage. She knew I didn't have a lot of money. Even now, with no mortgage and the situation with the channel, we are not, we're all right, but we're not doing great. Until I get my pension, I I was thinking of
Which is what, 62, or what is in England? What's how many years?
67,
Huh?
67.
Oh, you still have a couple more years to go.
I've got 6 more years. Yeah,
Oh, I think here is it all depends. I think it's maybe 60. I really don't know. I think
it's 60
60.
years old in the Philippines.
No, no, no. Here in state, I think it's
Oh, in the States.
state, they keep changing.
Yeah.
I believe you can retire early, but you're not gonna get a lot, you know. So you know,
I think it's the same like in Australia. You can retire early, but it halves your
yeah,
pension.
it's not gonna be a lot.
Yeah, and if you leave the country, if you leave the country and you haven't got a full pension,
Mm-hmm.
they still halve your pension because you're not in the country. I mean,
Mm.
that's to me that's totally wrong. But that's what they do in Australia. But I said to Mal, I said, if that was the case in the UK and I could just get half my pension now, I'd risk it. You know, I'd
Mm.
risk half the pension, sell my property, get something really nice here, and just live whatever years I've got left. You know, in a little bit of luxury.
So who's watching your property right now? You have family
My
watching your.
sister,
Oh, your
my
sister.
sister Christine, she's wonderful. I've
Mm.
given two of my sisters power of attorney.
Mm.
So if anything happens to me in the Philippines, they can, you know, do
Mm-hmm.
what needs to be done, basically. But she looks after my house. Uh, I've got I've got some wonderful tenants, and they keep my house beautiful, really
Oh, you're
beautiful.
lucky. You're
Oh, I'm
lucky.
very lucky. You
Mm.
know, I was thinking of selling my house in a couple of years and risking the years to get to my pension. But as the climate is, I don't think that would be a very good idea.
Well, if you said you have a good tenant, why would you sell it? If you know, at least that is money coming in, right? You know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's they've never failed with the rent. The a lot of the time, I started off by giving them money to keep it decorated and the outside paint nice and this.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they turned around and said, "Look, the rent is that low. We're gonna pay. We'll keep it maintained because we appreciate you're
Mm-hmm.
not paying us the full. We're not having to pay the full rent." And when I look what the rent should be, I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh my god!" You know, I raised the when the contract ran out uh, 8 months ago. I raised the rent £25. Then I looked into it and I realised I should have raised the rent £175.
Yeah, the rent, yeah, here in the state is ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how people can afford it right now. To tell you the truth, you know, so I feel maybe it's the same thing in UK, but here it's just there's no. I mean, it's getting tough. That's why Philippines is, you know, not only Philippines but in Asia is the number one destination now for, you know, for a lot of foreigners. You know, as if you probably noticed that, you know, everybody wants to get out and go to Asia. You know, it's life is not.
well, it's strange though, Jimbo, because there's one or two expats actually left to go back to Australia, to go back to America, saying that the pensions aren't really stretching here like they used to when they come 5, 6, 10 years ago. They're going to be no worse off, you know, back in the States, Australia, and I'm
Really,
scratching my
that's
head.
what they think.
I'm
Oh,
not sure that is the case,
that's strange. That's very strange, though. I don't know. But okay, so you found your you found your wife. You know, I seen your beautiful wife. That you the two of you seems to get along very well. You know, and then does your wife family live close by with you, or they're far
oh,
away?
very close by,
They're very
like,
close by.
yeah, 20, 20, 30 feet away. Yeah,
So do you have like any run into like do you have to help the wife family or anything like that?
absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
How do you do
My
that? How do you
my
do that?
mother, my ma and pa is so lovely. They're such lovely people. The whole of the family, bar maybe one, but I've still not really had a run in with that person.
Hmm.
Um, they're great. They've never asked me for nothing.
So they're
Nothing.
okay. The families.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I couldn't have hit on a better family than the one we've got. I mean, I've given money, not a lot, but I've given money when I could, but they've never asked for it. Never asked for it. No, not a loan,
Mm.
not to give, nothing.
So what
And it's
what
unusual. very unusual.
So you consider maybe one in a thousand got so lucky have this kind of situation. But what would you advise to foreigners that maybe they have how do they control like the Filipina family if they want asking for help because you're a foreigner. They most of the time they think foreigner has money and then they will try to. Then I'm not going to say that like abusing, but sometimes they just need it. They're poor. If you're foreigner find a Filipina and then the family was asking for help, what would you advise to the foreigner?
It's difficult because really my advice would be one, not to be so quick to get into a relationship until you know the family and you see what kind of relationship your future partner maybe have with the family, right? I think just by talking to the girl and looking at the family, you will get a good um,
Sense, right?
sense of uh, what this family is about,
So you
right?
so you did your investigation. You did your
Yeah,
investigation,
I,
right?
I normally go off my gut, and my gut says the family
Okay.
is good.
Well, that's
But
that's very important though. You have a going with your guts feeling. That's very important. So
you've got to get to know the family. If you get to know the family, you'll get a good gist of what you might be heading into.
hmm
Also, if you take your time with a girl and she's not a good girl, she'll let her guard down at some point.
mm,
You know, I mean, if you're abroad and you're dating online, and a girl starts asking you for money, then don't talk to that girl again.
yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Mm,
You've heard all the things about, oh, my brother's had a crash in his trike. He can't afford to repair it, and his family rely on the trike. And
mm.
oh, my granddad's just gone into hospital. We've heard it all before. I mean, you run a mile. You simply run a mile.
It,
There's some
it,
good girls here, and if you come to the Philippines, it's not long before you're going to run into girls that they'll find you. You don't have to make a fantastic effort unless, and again, no offense to some older guys,
mhm.
unless you're really obese, very ugly, you know, bad health conditions, that might be a little bit of a problem. But I mean, if you look okay, you look after yourself, and you've got a good attitude, you'll find these girls, and you're happy. They don't like miserable people.
Is Mel is she the first one or do you have you've seen other Filipina first before you met Mel?
I had a run in with a younger Filipino. I wouldn't say it wasn't a relationship. It was basically I went to meet her, and I knew the family wasn't good straight away, so I backed away from that straight away.
Mm.
So yeah, Mel's Mel's been it, you know.
So what
Mel,
what make you say Mel was the one? What make you say that? What did you
well,
see in her? Is it that you say okay, this is the one I think I'm going to spend my time here in the
well,
Philippines?
it's strange, Jimbo,
Again, is
because
it your guts feeling again?
well, with Mel, and she doesn't like me saying this, but it's the truth. When I first met Mel, I didn't see her as a future partner. One of the reasons was she's a lot younger than me, 26-year difference. The other was my gut was saying no, because when I come to the Philippines, and don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, I'm definitely not a control freak, but I want it for the first time in my life to be put first, right? And there were certain things that was a big no-no to me, that if that was her trait, her personality, we're probably not going to get on. Um,
hmm
but one of the things I said, which goes back onto your last question, was I am not a rich foreigner. And I kept trying to get her to understand I'm not a rich foreigner. I'm not in a position, especially at the moment, to help your family, right? I look after you and me, but I can't. I'm not in a position to help your family.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, I understand, and yeah, why should you help my family? It's not your responsibility." I thought, "Oh, that's good." And
Yeah,
as time
that's
went,
very good. That's a relief, right?
well, until a foreigner's met a Filipina, they've never met a really what could be a really fantastic relationship because
Mm-hmm.
Filipinas' attitude towards their spouse are totally different to women in the West. And once you've had a Filipina, a good Filipina, you see what have I been missing all these
Oh
years.
yeah, yeah. It's a goal.
If I'd have known 10 years previous to me coming into the Philippines and I had the finances, I would have come 10 years back. Now I
Mm-hmm.
really would. And
Yeah,
well,
for me, I really don't I don't like I'm okay with the age gap relationship, but a lot of them are hypocrite. I really sometimes I have to say this. A lot of foreigner are hypocrite when they were criticizing, like older foreigner marrying young, Filipina. For me, that this is all hypocrite because they don't understand the Philippines. I'm not trying to promote age gap. There's a drawback on that relationship, but I see it's a win-win situation because let's face it, it's poverty. It's a lot of people fall in poverty, and sometimes that's the only like a way out is to marry a foreigner, right?
well,
And
you've
then what?
sorry.
Okay, if you watch Mark Noeman, and they interview so many young Filipina. These are talking about teenager, maybe 14, 15, and they were asked, if you get a chance, would you marry a handsome Filipino or older foreigners with a more stable income? And I would say maybe 80% said they will marry
You don't mean
older
at
foreigners.
14, though, do you? You mean when they got a bit older, not
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
14.
Not at 15, of course not. The question was that when you get older, would you marry a Filipino, a handsome, like your age, or you would rather marry an older foreigners, but with more stable income? And they were all of them, like almost like 80 to 85% would say they would marry the because Mark Noam and they were interviewed this very poor, almost like some of them have nothing to eat. They go to sleep hungry, so they would say they just want to get out of poverty. So that's why I'm saying, I have no problem with age gap, because if that's the only way that to help them get out of poverty. If they don't marry an older foreigner, some of these young girls, when they get to their legal age, they might go, other things. They might go, become a prostitute or something else, or even selling something not legal, selling, something like that. They might go to the bad element.
One
So
of the
that's why, for me.
sorry, one of the problems with young girls that young is they have no life experience.
Hmm.
They don't really understand what they're getting into with a foreigner that has a different culture to them, right? They just see everything from the Filipino perspective, and I'm sure a lot go into it with the right intentions.
Hmm.
But then they get with an older foreigner and they think, oh, uh, he's a bit strict, he's a bit this, he's a bit that.
Yep.
Money then doesn't become a big thing to them
You make
because
you make good point there. Yeah.
because they're not. They get to the point where they're not really happy with that foreigner,
Hmm.
and they've got it married him, and they've got a nice house and a nice car, and on the whole he treats them well and what have you, but they're not happy.
It's a
And it's all well and good while you're at a certain age, Jimbo, and you look pretty okay and you're still fit. But what about when you're not? What about when that foreigner's really old? What then? You know, and that's what a lot of these girls they don't. You see, and again, I'm not knocking it. It's what I see
Yeah.
is a lot of Filipinos don't think in the future. And especially the really poor, they think how we're going to feed ourselves today. They don't really.
You
We'll
know, do you know, do
wait
you
till
know why?
tomorrow comes.
You know why, Chris? I'm going to tell you though. Um, Filipino, the thinking mentality is today. Tomorrow, whatever. It's whatever. It's what we call in Tagalog, bahala na. They only think of today. Let me tell you, this is not like, toasting, my countrymen, but it's the reality. If they, that's why, if let's say if they're working, come, like Friday, Saturday, once they up, they go drinking. They go drinking, they go have fun. Sometimes, and then, the next day they got one day off, and then Monday they cannot work because the hangover. So what I'm trying to say, they live by today.
Yeah.
They don't think about tomorrow. And then you will see a lot of them, a lot of people, why are they so poor? They keep getting getting pregnant because they're thinking today, you know? So that's the unfortunate, this is a lack of education. This is lack of, basically they need more education and also more job for, for for the people, they have, government has to step up really
I
big.
mean, just an example. If I, as a foreigner, for example, only went up to a Filipina, a teenager, or at 20, well, say 25,
Hmm.
and she hasn't got a job, or she's got a part-time job, she's got a kid, not much money, and I give her a good month's money, I guarantee you she couldn't work out that money for the month.
Mm.
You know, she
Hmm.
couldn't. She
Figure out.
she'd take she'd take her family out for a jolly bee. You know,
Hmm.
until that money was gone. I bet you
Mm.
any money she'd have no money before the end of the month
Mm.
because they just never seem to have that kind of money. And when they get it, they
Mm.
blow it. You
See,
know.
see, the thing is, I also get influenced by the family. The family will influence. Oh, you got money, maybe you buy me this, and that's how they blew the money away, like that. So yeah, that's I know what you're saying. I mean, it's very unfortunate. So that's and then the drawback is also when you are an older foreigner and then you marry this younger. I don't suggest that young marrying because I heard somebody marrying 16 years old. That is totally
Well, one
I
that's illegal.
I
Against the
disagree
law.
with that. As long
It's
they're
made a film.
legal age 18, it's okay. But then when you, let's say if you're 50 and then if you're 60 and marry 20 years old, 10 years from now your Filipina will be 30. She's still blooming, and the foreigner will be 70. You're already downhill. So sometime, and then I know somebody. Uh, all of a sudden, the younger Filipina got pregnant by another Filipino. See that's going to happen because some of them, older foreigner, they cannot function anymore. So of course your younger Filipina will be looking. That's you have to also to think about that if you are a foreigner, if you're older foreigner. That's what I'm trying to say. And going back to where we're saying that Filipina always look up to the foreigner. I have a story to tell you. There's a in Terrence, you probably know you know Terrence, right? In with Terrence,
I
he
know of him. I don't know him.
yeah,
I've not followed the channel.
but he has like a subscriber named Mitch. I interview Mitch. Mitch went to the Philippines, and then Terrence kind of show around, and then tried to, and then something bad happened. Like he tried to keep using Mitch to shower, the poor people, right? So basically, Mitch just throw away so much money, like a lot of money. And then after that, something fall out between the two of them, and Mitch decided to leave. And then when he left the Philippines, there's a lot of being said about him as a playboy, right? As a playboy. So all of a sudden he was the bad foreigner. But you be surprised because he has a younger girlfriend, and then they break up, and then everybody was trashing him, and you be surprised that in spite of that, what being said I think on his channel or Facebook, a lot of Filipina, like I'm not kidding, like hundred of Filipina were calling, try to be friend with Mitch. At one point you said that guy is a bad person, right? But then you see why is like hundred of Filipina want to be his friend, because that
Well, I think
they see him as a millionaire playboy, something like that.
well, I think I saw one of your videos where
Hmm.
you were talking about. I made a comment actually. I don't normally comment, but I thought
Yeah,
I'm going to comment on this.
the broke John.
Where I can't remember who it was, but basically, uh, the guy had 1.5 million
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, something.
pesos, point something million, and then he runs out of money. Then all of a sudden, she doesn't want him anymore. I mean, that is just typical of all the messages I've had from foreigners over the years. A lot of them, bless them, they've sold everything. They've come to the Philippines. They've they've put every penny they've got in land, built a house. They've trusted the partner. Then all of a sudden, they're they're just living on the pension. They haven't got any money anymore. Not anything to speak of. And then that girl doesn't want them anymore.
What that guy was, he's not. I don't think he's normal. I think he has some mental, like he's thinking like he's still young. He may be almost 60, but his mind is still in maybe teenager. He's not a adult mind, and then he make a bad decision. He tried to live off 600, I think 625 a month, and he was doing great until he constantly keep getting girlfriend just want his money. And the last one was first, the Filipina asked for, can you maybe build my mother a house, so we can just live with my mother. So it sounds like a good deal, so that's why he say yes, and he spent like 400,000 peso in building that mother house. And then once it got built, he's out of money, and they kick him out. So
Oh, bless.
yeah,
Well, I mean, whether he's right in the head or not, I mean, it's still not good, is it? I mean, it's a bad reflection on the Philippines for a start.
yeah,
I think people who do that. I mean, it, I can't emphasize enough for foreigners to lay the cards on the table and say, look, this is it. Now, on the other hand, if you've got a really, really good pension, I would not tell a Filipina exactly what kind of finances you have a month. I
exactly.
play it down. I
Yep.
play it all down
You have to play
because
low key. You have to play low
yeah,
key. Don't show your card, because once you do that, I mean, you're done. You're finished. If
that's
you
not to say that's not to say. You see, I mean, it's bad enough feeling that or hoping that the Filipino loves you or at least cares for you. Let's not use the love word. To me, it's like a business relationship. You look after them and they look after you. I mean, what is love anyway?
Mhm.
That's a song, isn't it? As long as you get on and, you know, what she's doing, you're happy with, what
Mhm.
you're doing, she's happy with, that's fine. But what these guys don't realize is if they come overthrowing their money about, it's bad enough in the West. How on earth are you going to know? I mean, I could tell you. But how are you going to know that girl wants you for your money, or whether she really likes you as well? You're never going to know this. Whereas if you start off saying,
until you're broke, and then you will,
"Oh, absolutely,
then you'll find out if this Filipina is serious with you or not, So maybe you have to play some game, maybe put some away and then say you're broke, and then we'll see what happened. If she still wanna be with you, and then you find a goal again, a gold mine.
I know this young lady, and I have a lot of respect for her because she's got a kind heart. I'll not mention any names; that wouldn't be fair. But this one of my subscribers sent me a message, and he says, "I've been talking to this girl, and I've been sending her grocery money every month, and I'm saying, I'm hoping she's going to be girlfriend, boyfriend, with me, and she won't. We can't seem to get any further forward of me sending her grocery money."
Mm.
And he says, "I'm not sure if this girl's playing me, Chris." And I just wrote back to him and said, "Look, mate, because I know the girl, I can't say a lot about it. But if you want to know if it's about you or if it's about money, then stop the groceries and see if she keeps talking to you."
Mm.
Because he couldn't get to the point where she'd say, "Yeah, come to the Philippines. I'd like to meet you." And,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah. Because normally, if one of these girls is really um, loving this guy,
Mm.
I don't mean literally, they'll say, "Look, if you want a relationship with me, you'll come over to the Philippines to see me." But this girl's just backing off all the time. So, I mean, to me, cut the money off and you'll soon know whether the girl wants you for you or whether she wants you for the
Right.
money.
Yeah. So let me move on to that. Talk about the charity, and also at the same time, about I seen your video. It's about the house burned down. So do you want to
Oh,
talk about
four
that? But
houses.
before you share that, and maybe you share that story first, and then I'll tell you. Go ahead about that house burned down. What happened to that house?
Well, the one of the kids or two of the kids were playing with a lighter and set the house on fire, and it burnt three other houses down as well.
Oh.
And I knew nothing about it, and then the police sent me a video. Naga police sent me a video and said, "Could you help these families? They're living on the street. They're living under a tree with some kids." Now,
How many houses is that?
four. There's
Four
four
houses.
houses,
Okay.
but from the main house, I think there's three kids and the other adults that were living in this house.
Is that four house four family or
Four families, yeah,
okay?
four families. So going off the reactions I've had just recently with helping, I'm saying, look, I'll try and help, but I can't make any promises. So the police took me in the police vehicle to take a video because my car battery was flat, and me and Mel went and we took a video. It wasn't the best video in the world. We should have got the family together and did it a bit better. But anyhow,
So the
I said, look,
police took the video with you, or is it you took
all the
the?
police were taking video of me taking the video.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I went and I'm saying, look, I'll put the video online, but I don't know what the response is going to be. Um, Unfortunately, it wasn't that good. I think it's three people. One of them, he's kind anyway. He always reacts. He's a friend. And two others that I didn't know about. I was hoping to give each of the families 20,000 each, not
Mm-hmm.
actual in physical money. I'll be there to pay for the materials. I'll get the receipt, and then I can send the receipt to the people who's donated the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the response was I think we got just over 26,000 pesos. That isn't going to really help the families very much. So I'm in a dilemma now. Do I just help the first family who lost the biggest house and that's the biggest family, or do I try and split it up between four or two? I can't. I was I was brought to help the main family. I wasn't brought to help the other three because the parking attendants, we helped them with the uniforms, if you remember, if you've seen the video.
Yeah, I seen one video. Yeah.
So I've left it to see if anybody else had offered to help, and there's nobody else offered. So now we've got to make a decision, which what we're going to do. So the money's there. Um, the police that are involved will get they'll take copies of the receipts on the phone. Everything's done above board. Not one peso do we take. In fact, with the parking attendants' uniforms, we put money towards that on top of what we spend.
So
So,
the police is the one that approach you to see and ask you to see if you can help with this, right? So that's good. My next question will be: some people will say you need a license to, in order to do that. How? So you're saying, is this, does the police has the authority now?
look,
How do you address that one?
if if I was if my channel was just doing begging videos, that would be the case. You would have to be a registered charity, but we're not. The only the only thing I could maybe be criticised for is the Christmas videos for the kid, what we did for the kids, the Christmas party. But who in the right mind would criticise something like that when it's a once a year thing?
Mm-hmm.
And the police were involved with that as well.
Mm.
Then the police asked me to help again. Now, is the police going to come round and arrest me for doing something they asked me to do?
No, I was surprised that the police would. I did not know this. I did not know that because I have actually I have been covering Terrence who is doing
God.
almost doing the same thing, like asking for donation. At that time they don't have a license and they got trouble with the DSWD. So that's
You on
why
about who
I
you on about? Terrence.
Terrence. And
Yeah.
then also the same thing with Tim K. Tim K. I did cover that. Tim K. He got trouble with the DSWD. Somebody, with that Typhoon Odette. When the Typhoon Odette hit, a lot of people got hit badly, and then Tim, one of the blogger, start to do a GoFundMe, and then somebody report him, and he got trouble with that. But DSWD said it's okay, you can do that, but we have to monitor your income. Whatever the money coming in, we want to see that in and out. You're gonna have in time of a disaster, they will have a kind of special, like cut the red tape, so people can get help. But still, the SWD want to monitor. The SW said to them, you need to contact us so we can work with you while you do that. So at least people will know that it was the police who approached you and they were asking, see if you can help this poor family. Okay, that's good to know.
Well, I mean, the police took us and turned up with us. I mean, it's just like when we helped with the parking attendants. The police took pictures of the receipts. They know how much money we got.
Mm,
I mean, who in the right mind is going to do something fraudulent when the police are involved? I mean, you'd have to be pretty damn stupid, and
mm-hmm,
especially if you're a foreigner, you're walking a fine line in the Philippines all the time.
mm-hmm,
You could be asked to leave at any point. It doesn't matter if you've got a permanent residence visa like me. If you get in trouble with the local authorities, they can ask you to leave. They just get in touch with immigration. You're gone.
mm-hmm.
There's no appealing or anything like that.
Right, right.
You're literally gone. Now, do you think for 1 minute I'm stupid enough to risk
You're gonna
losing
risk
my
that, right?
over helping somebody else and
Mm-hmm.
skimming a few pesos off the top? I mean, I'm not driving around in a 4x4. Do you
But
know what I mean?
do you? I mean, do you feel like once you do that, you will be almost like be encouraged to keep doing it?
Look, um, like I said, what we were doing, Jimbo, is we said, well, when it's Christmas, we'll do a Christmas. We'll
Mm-hmm.
get some toys for the kids and some food and that kind of thing. It's a one-off. We're not doing it every damn video. It's about me and Mel and our life with the kids and the kids growing up and where I am in the next 2 5 years. Me and Mel might not be together in the next few years. You
Mm.
know, you don't know. But the videos are coming, not very many at the moment, but the videos are coming. That's what it's about. It was a really strange situation where all of a sudden we were asked by the police to help, and we could do. So I said, yeah, if we can help, we're quite happy to do that. We did everything above board. The police got receipts. We made sure the police got the receipts and how much we got and this, that, and the other. We've got it all written down with the receipts. We
Yeah.
still know the people. In fact, the people are friends. One of Michael, he lives up San Felipe in the Philippines here. Other one's Robert. They're the main two people that donated to the uniforms. So did one more. No, it was them two. I'm sure it was just them two. So it's that small. It keeps things simple, right? So if anybody comes knocking on the door and says, "Hey, we've had reports and we're just investigating that you're a scammer and an e-bagger," then I can say, "Well, look, how's that then? How is it that there's more money paid out for the uniforms than what we got in?"
Mm. No,
You
I'm
know,
not. I'm not talking about the Christmas time. I'm not talking about the Christmas time. I'm talking about this four family. Let's say you help this four family, and then what's next? You gonna be because I seen it. Other channel. That's what happened. They started to. Let me give you an example. No, I'm not saying you, but let me give you an example. I seen one. In the Bohol area, right? This They were trying to help one houses, because this family, the house is really bad. The roof is full of lake, so and then they help this house, right? After they help this house, and you think it's done, you think it's over, and then the next time they show you, oh, the neighbor also needed. So and then it's a nonstop. It just can
I
continue
understand.
until the viewer said, "Hey, you guys need to stop. We're not going to bankroll the whole country."
I understand, and that's where a lot of these people who subscribe to a lot of channels are at the moment. I'll give you a quick example. Uh, I made it very, very clear to the officer that I deal a lot with
Hmm.
um, that the only time our channel may be able to help is if it's a charitable help. I can't, and I'll give you another. We were asked to, oh man, I'm not sure I should mention it. We were asked to do something that I saw straight away was just not on. It wasn't charitable. It was something that should be paid from another source. And I wasn't about to make myself look an idiot and lose subscribers by trying to get help for this thing.
Mm.
So I refused to do it. Right? I'm not. I'm not. I don't think that I did anything wrong by helping the police for these car park attendants' uniforms. They're poor people. They've got nothing. It was helping them get more money. It was helping them being recognised
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
they, you
I,
know,
I seen the video. I seen the video. I think it's a good idea because otherwise they have no uniform. You don't know which one is the legal parking attendants. I thought that was a very nice gesture, though. So what don't the like, let's say, the barangay, don't they have, can they not help this poor family? Is there some,
well, the
or the
families
may?
have been helped by the local authority. The police said the local authority. I don't know if that was the barangay or the town hall, but they were given the four houses were given between 10 and 12,000 pesos. Now, you know how the materials are going up in the
Yep.
Philippines. That's not going to go
No.
anywhere. It's just not enough. It's as simple as that. It's not
Yeah.
rocket science.
Yeah.
So that we were asked, is there any way your subscribers might be able to help? So I
Mm.
said, look, I never say, any guarantees. I can't guarantee,
Yeah. You
but
never
I'll
know.
try. I'll try.
Yeah.
As it happens, the response wasn't that good.
So
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
so you're doing great in your community because you're getting recognized now by the the police. I'm sure the leader over there recognizing you now, right?
Well, I've sat and had coffee with the chief of police,
Mm-hmm.
the head of the tourist unit,
Mm-hmm.
Joseph V. Uh, Engaro. Nearly forgot his name there. They're good people. They just,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really want to help the local community. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. They've been very kind. I've got 2 certificates from the police for helping with the uniforms because we got 2 lots of uniforms
Mm-hmm.
because we realised pretty quickly they were wearing dirty uniform, so they needed to be able to wash and blah blah blah. We got a certificate off the school for the Christmas party. I really feel humbled with that,
Mm-hmm.
and we never expected that. We didn't do it for any recognition. We did it because we wanted to help, and we always want to help. Foreigners come to Naga. If we're in a position to help, we'll help. Our time costs nothing. I'm not going to say, "Oh, well, I'll help you," but I would never do that. Never have done that. I helped. We've helped many people, but for example, a guy come. He was in a hotel. It was costing him a fortune. We found him an apartment, and it was saving him a load of money until he moved on. I think he was going to do him again, but he wanted to stay in Naga for 3 months
Mm-hmm.
because he met this girl online and he wanted to see how it went.
Mm-hmm.
So we do different bits and bobs that aren't on camera. We've had criticism. Well, if you're doing it with a good heart, why do you put it on video? Because that's what I do.
You're a
You know, you,
blogger. You're a
oh yeah,
blogger.
yeah. I'm
So
a
yeah,
blogger.
that's why sometimes people criticize something on one channel, right? And I was saying that, oh, by the way, the one you commented, broke John. That's the title, and it was he was so broke that the family kicked him out, right? That the foreigners. So this blogger was helping him, right? Do a video, and the video just like took a hit, like I don't know, like almost like I think it's almost like at least 500,000 view or more than that, right? And the community, the expat community, come together and help this man, this John, right? And then people were criticizing the blogger, and I was like, because they were saying, the blog was just trying to make money out of view, and I said, are you serious? He's a blogger because he do you think he have to do something that people doesn't want to watch? Of course he have to do. As a blogger, you want to do something that people will be interested, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. But he got criticized for helping this foreigner John, and then that's what they were saying. He's an e-beggar.
Look, if you start a channel and you're lucky to get to the point, because it's not easy to run a channel,
No.
and you get to the point where you can be monetized,
Yep.
you're going to monetize. Does that make you an e-beggar? Because
No.
you,
Yeah, that's a
I
deep.
mean, come on.
You know, there's so many things now. Like your channel, you have. I think you have Patreon, right? But those are legal. Those are provided by YouTube to help the small YouTuber, because it costs money to have a channel. You have to buy equipment. You have to put your time. You have to maybe have. If you travel, or just ride the trike, you still have to pay for the trike to go film something. It costs money. So that's why
I'm
they have this Patreon, or whatever, that sticker, something like that. So for me, that is not e-beggar. That is just to help the it's legal. But people,
I mean, I can direct you to loads of YouTube channels that's saying, "Oh, and while you're here, would you like to buy my T-shirt?" And you really, we'd love you to support this channel and blah blah blah. Look, we've all done it. Does that make them e-beggars?
no,
Of course it doesn't. Of course
that
it doesn't. These
that
people
is
are sick.
this is you are you gonna start a YouTube channel for everything free? I mean, I'm doing that now because I this is such a passion, right now. But down the road, when I have to depend on my YouTube, I will do the same thing. I put a Patreon. If I can sell a hat, I might do that too. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Look, Jimbo,
It's a
the only
business.
standard these people have is double standard. They didn't have a double standard, they'd have no standard at all. Do you think for 1 minute the same people who are criticizing us bloggers, if they started a channel up and they got to the point where they could monetize it, they got to the point they could do Patreon, they got to the point where they could do membership, they got to the point where they could sell a few T-shirts. Do you think they say, "Oh no, I'm not. No, I don't want to do that. No, that would be e-begging. I don't want to do that. I don't want that money. No, I'm not monetizing my channel." BS, absolutely BS.
Yeah,
Of
no,
course,
no, those are, for me, it's just it's a business. I don't have problem with that. My problem was when people constantly, like we were talking earlier, when you said your camera is broke. I mean, if you say that one time, for me it's okay. But when you keep doing that, everything that you want, it's like I was critical of one channel, because they need a house, right? So they were asking viewer if anybody want to give them money to build their house. They were asking for 200K, right?
now that's an e-begging.
So no,
That's
no,
taking the mic off.
that's what I'm saying. That's I have a problem with that. But if let's say something like I seen a video, people were very critical. This is somebody, just have a heart attack. It's in hospital, and then the blogger just post the picture, and people were criticizing already. Oh, there he go again. He's trying to.
Well, again,
He,
that's see. You should take everything on its own merits. I mean, use more than two brain cells with this.
yeah.
It, I mean, somebody's had a heart attack, for God's sake. They can't afford the medical bills. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's very expensive. People think it's cheap in the Philippines to be sick. It's not.
See,
It is not.
a lot of people. I mean, they sometimes they don't have emergency fund, right? And then this thing hits you, and you fall on hard time, and then somebody like, if I want to feature you because you fall on, that person fall on hard time, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna become e-beggar because I'm trying to help this person right here.
Look,
That
Jimbo,
that I have.
nobody puts a gun to anybody's head. We're all supposed to be big boys and girls. Yet you've got people out there. Why are you giving them money? Yeah, I mean, I do a live stream some Saturdays, not all Saturdays, but some Saturdays we'll do a live stream. We get super chats. Do you want me to say, "Oh no, stop giving me them super chats. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart." I'll do a panel out the goodness of my heart. I'll stay on here for 7 hours out the goodness of my heart. Don't give me money. But you get criticized for that as well.
No,
Sometimes I've been on 7 hours and got $40.
super chat is again, it's part like almost like a Patreon or super sticker.
Exactly.
It's part of YouTube um, for the blogger, to help the blogger. But sometimes the blogger abuse it. Again, when they abuse it, what do I mean by abusing it? They would they would just like come on live, and basically they would tell you, before they come on live they already tell you the problem, like, oh, my refrigerator broke, something, or my car broke, and then they come on live, basically just want to people to give them money. That's and then when they keep doing that, then I have a problem with that, you know. But if you are doing something, you're giving advice to people, right? If you're giving advice to people, and people want to give you super chat, hey, your time is money. Your time is
Well,
money.
I'll be honest with which I always am. I'll be honest with you. I've gone on lives and I've said I've had a lot of trouble with electronics while I've been in the Philippines. I mean, I've got to keep my mouth shut because every time I'll say, "Oh, Mel, that monitor's working really well," or "the camera's working really," honestly, I'm not kidding you. Something goes wrong. You know, my solar generators, and I'll say that, but I'm not paranoid about it now, Jimbo. I said, look, I'm only explaining our situation, what's gone off. I
Mm,
don't want you to send me money. I'm not asking for money. I'm not begging. I'm
mm,
just simply telling you the situation. And she keeps saying to me, Mel, shut up your mouth. Don't say it. Don't mention it. You
mm,
know, if you don't want the money, what does it matter? But why say it? I said, well, I'm just telling them the trouble I keep having, and it's you know, I'm all right. I can sort it myself. But these people don't listen to that. They ignore what you said and just say what they want to say, what they said you said. You know, or there was one channel that was editing my video and
mm,
making it look like I'm begging and saying something and I wasn't. It
mm,
wasn't the right video. They'd edited it. And then, I mean, I got it took down because you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take video without permission. But I got it immediately took down. But that's what these people are like. They get up in the morning and they'll pick a certain channel and they just want to troll that channel over and over again and then try and get to the subscribers of that channel and convince them they're e-beggars. I mean, I lost a subscriber I never believed in a million years a few weeks ago that he always said, look, Chris, you know, I love you and your family and, you know, I'll always support you. I'll never stop supporting. And all of a sudden I get a message saying, I've been on this other channel, Chris, and they're saying these things. And it's like, I can't, I'm not 100%, but I can't take the risk. What they're saying is not true. So I'm sorry, I can't support you anymore. And it's like, what? Did they give you any proof? Did you come to me and ask me? Did you ask me
mm-hmm.
to, is this right? No, he didn't. And I was really disappointed, Jimbo, with that. Really disappointed. But did I go
Well,
to him and say,
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
you
sure.
know,
You
I
know,
can't,
some people just jump in. You know, right away. That's why we have said we call it here fake news. We have fake news, and people just buy into to it right away. You know, without doing due diligence to investigate a little bit more. You know, so I have so many people will come and said, "Hey, Jimbo, can you do this channel? You know, because they were like e-beggar or this scammer, right?" And then I'll say, "Okay, can you send me a proof, like show me something, because I cannot say something that I don't have a proof. I don't do that. You know, my channel is." I don't have anything like Patreon or anything like that because, like I said, this is just a part time. It's a passion. I'm not a full time blogger, so and everything if I want to do something, I want to be honest with people. You know, I don't like to. I hate lie. You know, liar. I hate that. So I can do that. You know, I will tell my viewer. But some of them, like I said, you sometimes you just don't know. Some I would say some of my viewer are also troll.
well, I wouldn't say a lot of the time they think they're particularly telling lies. I just think a lot of them are just stupid. You know, they just don't think for themselves, Jimbo. They don't look into things before they start yapping, you know. Um, and just some just want to make people's life miserable just because they don't like the fake stuff.
How do you deal with the troll? Do you just delete them and block them? How do you
I
deal with?
just delete block immediately. It used to affect me. It used to really, really affect me. And I'd say to Mel, I mean, I wished I could be as laid back as Mel. I mean, she's going, why are you getting upset? I mean, they're nobody. Just delete them, block them. And I'm going, yeah, but why are you saying these things? They don't know me. They don't know my finances. They don't know the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hearsay. They're going on other channels that are really, the channels have been set up just to hit other channels. And when they think they've took that channel down, they'll go move on to the next one and then the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are like sheep, they don't. Why don't they try and get some information first?
Mm-hmm.
Look, like I said to you earlier, Jimbo, I've been here 7 years. I've had three people send me messages saying they've passed evidence on to the police. I'll be leaving the Philippines soon. I'm still here. Do you think if they had proper evidence, police wouldn't have acted on it?
Mm. Yeah,
You know?
I hear you. So I think I'm gonna get trouble with this, right here. Uh, talking with you, sharing because people might expect that we're gonna be at war or something like that. I did tell you I did collaboration with Mike in the Philippines, the same thing, and then people said, "Why are you two not like no heating no heating word or something like that?" So I mean, I like to do interview with everybody. Doesn't matter, if that person has controversial or something like that. I just want to show that we can communicate, instead of just bashing one another, And even the channel that I was very critical of, there's only two channels that I was very critical of. I invited them for like one-on-one. Let's have a conversation. I'm gonna ask you the question, and you just, or anything that I have said, you disagree, you come and we can talk, and let's see, we can find an answer there, but they declined. So anyway, so anything else you want to share that for the people, for my viewer?
Not really, but I mean, like I said to you earlier, I love the Philippines. I love my life here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see myself, unless I have no choice, going back to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if anything, I'd still try and live in the Philippines, but it would be pretty hard. I mean, I fell into a circumstance that makes it easy for me to live in the Philippines. Other foreigners, not so much. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
foreigners can't hack it. They come here and they might make 3 months, 6 months, and then they just want to go back home because they can't adapt to the Philippines. It's not for everybody. I mean, you said to me earlier on, you went to the US when you were 20. You, even though you're from the Philippines, you don't think you could come back and hack it.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, chosen the wrong words, but I mean, in that sense, I think you could. I think anybody that has a bit of backbone, a, a strong personality. I'm not saying I've got a strong personality because I haven't, but a strong personality. There's no way you can't manage in the Philippines. If you come, you're respectful, you obey the law, you abide by the rules. You don't, you're not offensive to anybody because the laws here are pretty strict.
Mm-hmm.
I insult a Filipino, they report me to the barangay, it can escalate out of control. It wouldn't happen in the West, but it will happen in the Philippines. See, foreigners come here and they don't realize the fine line they're walking if they open that, and especially if they lose the temper. Filipinos don't like you losing your temper.
Yeah.
You've got to be respectful at all times, especially with authority. You can't show any aggression or whatever. You've got to, yes, sir, I realize, I'm sorry, and you just got to do what you got to do,
Do you have
and that's what.
a big expat community in your area in Naga? Do you?
Yeah, we do, but I've been to it about twice, and I wouldn't go again
Mm,
because I didn't understand why they were in the Philippines because they were just, you know, trashing the Philippines. It's like, well, why bother? And look,
mm,
if you want to have a problem in the Philippines, get involved with the foreigners. You'll have a problem. I've never had a problem with Filipinos, whatever. I have with foreigners because it just doesn't work. They all have mainly have all strong personalities, and you're going to clash at some point. I'm very opinionated. If you say something I don't agree with, I'll tell you. I try to be respectful as long as you're being respectful. But anybody that's not respectful, I just give them it back. You know,
When
I'm
when you
not.
s- when you
So
say they were trashing, the Philippine, do they have the attachment to the Philippine? Like, are they married to a Filipina?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They were all married. Um, they're saying things like, "Oh, you can't drive here because they're all a load of morons," and but when you try and get paperwork, it's like living in the Stone Age, and on and on and on and on. It's like I didn't come here to listen to that, and I put my foot in
Yeah,
it.
you come to the Philippines, you need to change to the culture. You don't change Philippines. Philippines is that way. And I got trouble also with when I posted a video that featuring a foreigner fighting a local, a fist fight. And I was
Oh no,
saying that,
no,
no,
you don't
that's
do
what I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I said, I know the Filipino was wrong because I was in the Philippines. I know what happened. I know that the Filipino how they drive. That jeepney driver probably cut this foreigner, and the foreigner got pissed off, and he went out and he just started to attack the driver. I said he was wrong because you don't want to get engaged with the local. You end up trouble. That's what I'm trying to. When I say that, people were not too happy. The foreigner was not too happy. Oh, you siding with the because you're from the
No,
Philippines.
you're not. Hey, look, even if a foreigner has an accident, I'm not saying 100% of the time because I had an accident and it actually the police turned around and they're there and they said you've got to pay him this and where's your license and all the rest of it. So I had a good experience, but I know a lot of no, some foreigners that haven't, and even though it wasn't their fault, they ended up paying for the other person who ran into them. It happens. Or there's a guy going down this small street on a motorbike. Most of the houses, there's no pavement, it's straight onto the street. There's some kids talking to each other with their back to the street. All of a sudden, this girl turned around and ran straight into the motorbike. It wasn't his fault,
Hmm.
but he still had to pay hospital bills, and the parents were trying to, what.
And you know what? There's a lot of fake too. They will pretend that you hit them, so you may as well have if you have a car, better have this dash cam because you never know. I seen it. I seen it. People were faking it. They would say that they got bombed by especially when they see a foreigner. They would claim that they got hit by the foreigner, and they just lay down
Well,
automatically.
the moral of the story is, Jimbo, if you're a foreigner in the Philippines, you have to be calm and respectful, even if the situation is stressful. Because if they see you calm and respectful, that'll go a long way. If you start ranting and raving, and for God's sake, please don't hit any Filipinos. Whether you think you're in the right and they're in the wrong, do not, because that is going to mean you're going to be exiting the Philippines. They don't
Uh,
want people like you in the Philippines. They don't want aggressive people. You get reported. I mean, look, as simple as this. If you're with a Filipina, for example, and they make a complaint to the local barangay or the police that you were violent towards them, even if you weren't, let's say they were, I don't know, trying to extort you or whatever, you've had it. They ain't going to believe you. They're going to believe the Filipina, and that's
mhm.
how it is. You might be one of the lucky ones, and you don't. You get believed, but it would be an exception rather than the rule. Now I'm sorry, but when you come to the Philippines, you're here at the government's pleasure, right? You have no rights here, none whatsoever, and that's why you've got to be so careful and just look. If you keep your nose clean and smile and keep your nose out of things, you'll be fine.
Yeah, the local will loves you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's 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 a very good advice. That's a excellent advice. For the foreigner. That's good. Chris, appreciate it. Uh, any last word for you? You know, so I thank you for your time, Chris. Did you have any last word for everybody?
Now, if you're a foreigner thinking to come to the Philippines, it's a good choice if you do things right. If you
Hmm.
get a good woman, my God,
Like
you're
you.
back. Yeah, you're back.
Congratulations, by the way, you found a gem, you know, in Mel, you know, so two thumbs up for you.
I keep getting told that. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, Chris. I'm gonna
Right.
edit this video and then I'll let you know when I'm gonna release it. You know, maybe in a couple of days. You know, so
Okay, Raine.
appreciate.
Take care.
Nice talking to you. Take care.